So I'm Naima. I'm Kelly. And we have made this play cafe for you because we are true lovers of writing. And I don't think you have anything without really good writing, right? Mm-hmm. So what you are experiencing is our personal libraries. And what we've done is try to think about some really interesting pieces that would work for anyone from elementary all the way up to post high school that might just be like another story you can tell. Because I know I get tired of the same play. Mm-hmm. Just a real personal anecdote. I wanted to go back to school for directing for something. And some of you know this, I sent myself to the UK. Instead of enrolling in school, I thought about, like, what does it mean to be a lifelong learner? And what does it mean to really actually live by that tenement? It's a lot of what we tried to do. Hold on, I'm going to do this. I like Music Soul Child. I saw you last weekend. So I was trying to think about what it is to be a lifelong learner. I was trying to think about what it is to be a lifelong artist. And I couldn't imagine enrolling into another institution. I struggled. So what I did instead was think about, well, what makes me an exemplar teacher? And figure out some sort of touchstone curriculum. And instead of using my tuition money, I used it to fly to the UK, also Portugal, Spain, Germany, and some other places, and see theater, talk to artists, and mostly try to find writers and directors. So the other thing, too, was I had to come here and see theater. And I could not have done that without, like, Peter, without the arts office, without him making such offers to us to go see theater. So just so you can see, I picked some of my favorite programs, and that was another part of my textbooks, because I read the programs and I'm the crazy one that stays for the credits at the end of the film. And then I also, when those offers came up for tickets, when those offers came up to like take people see things, or most importantly, at a space and age where my students were like, I'm in a show, and it makes me want to cry. I'm in a show, come see it. I have comp ticket for you. Oh God, okay, I'm not doing that. So that is my New York pile. And then it also just engaged me to think about, what does it mean to be part of a theater house? What does it make me, what is it part of? I want to educate students. I want to educate actors. I want to educate young artists to be part of a community. A lot of people use that word, that C word. And while I am fortunate enough to have you as a community, be part of multiple communities, it's not like there's a blueprint on how you find one, especially with a house. So I've learned to start being a little more investing in certain theater houses. And then my pockets got sort of stretched, and this is what you see on the tables. And I, as like putting myself through school, read everything, try to see everything, and try to find the writers to have the conversations with if I could. I also went to the Olivier Awards a couple of times, so that was also interesting to see it from workshop, stage to award-winning, and just what it means to tell an award-winning story. That was another class in my mind. So what I would like to encourage is, if there's something that you want to know about, call us over. We probably do know. Just to give you an idea of what the stations are like, these are contemporary plays and ladies. The ladies are in the house, a lot of women. I'm calling it reimagination. But it's like old but new, nods to stories that we already know, how we reimagine these classic stories. I call that the culture station. So think about maybe even just a topic, a race, a big problem. That's that area. this is like, Kelly's lovely space of cuts, monologues, pieces. That is like something she knows kids could do well. On the table are one-person plays that I can guarantee can be multifaceted. Like, I've done a Fires in a Mirror with 30 students. It can be done. And then on the ledge is LGBTQ+, and some of those plays are really crazy cool. I'm gonna say Daddy was a very interesting experience. So that is it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and just to add, I started a new school this year, which is always a humbling and challenging experience. 26 years in, I'm the new kid. So I had a very different population of students than I did from my school in Queens, which meant that a lot of the plays that I had that were successful were no longer representing the people in my room. So I went out and read and bought a ton of plays, and I did this exact workshop with them. And let them go around and have snacks and sit and look at materials. And then I gave them neon Post-its where they could put on the board under the class, like, here's the play that I liked. Here's my first choice, second. Here's why. And it allowed me to really kind of go, okay, this is where we're going. This is the type of production I should be doing in a year based on interest. But there was complete buy-in because they chose it. So the pieces that I have like on that table, those are student vetted, student approved. And there was no theater program in my school, so there was no theater culture. So it was, So these are pieces that they gravitated to as high school students. I will say most of these plays, regardless of age group, there's usually something in there that you can pull for your age group. It could be a line. It could be a phrase. Kids find themselves in stories, right? And so I also found it was fun. Pick a line that you like. Tell me your story through theirs. And we can talk about that later when we get to activities. But we really just wanted you to have time to breathe and explore freely and talk to your friends. So that's what today is about. So we're going to turn it back to you. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's because I teach high school, but so many of them, not a lot of them are reading below grade.
Yes.
And so, like, reading this text, it feels really manageable, but then they could think more, like, they could take on, like, sort of heavier design skills or like, heavier, like, not devised, world building.
So there is a play that I did at the Looking Glass Theater, and it's called East of the Sun, West of the Moon. I think it is, and I might have the script somewhere. Big question.
Okay. East of the west.
East of the Sun.
It's west of the moon.
West of the Moon. Right. And it is a children's style, right? But it has more like immersive elements to. And then at the time I was at Campos, and there were a lot of ENL teachers and.
Based on speaking with Becca, who I know is there, we have very similar situations.
So what I did was teamed up with the music teacher who have a famous that we want to be my best friends. And she was like, I'm doing Coldplay. I was like, brilliant. We're going to make this into a musical. And so we merged our classes and we threaded music that was popular at the time with that work. I feel like that was the lie. Because it became a play with music versus like a music work.
Music feel represented by it.
And so it was like, I can expose, you can tell me all you want about at this time as queer. So it was like, okay, we're going to get some of that feeling in there. But also, let me tell you about the brilliance of Coldplay. And let's like have a moment. And it really did it did a thing because, and the audience became so low stakes because we had an elementary school in the building. So they automatically became the audience. Sometimes when I backwards plan, I think about who's my audience first versus like who the players are, and that made it that much easier to stuff with. Yeah. So, but that feels right up your alley. If I find East of the Sun, I will.
Thank you. But yeah, because like a lot of these plays, I'm like, I think these kids could get there in like the current freshmen could get there through seniors because this is my second year at the school. rebuilding after the many years of not really having a theater teacher, despite in the house having much more rigorous curriculum and training. So I'm like, yeah, for now it would be things like this make more complex versus like it would be, I don't know if they're ready for fires in the area. Maybe they like in the next year.
I have I can show you. Oh wait, based on some of the things we did together in Joe Salvatore. Hey now, Joe. Yes. Whoa! Tell us more.
Buchinche. Because this is the concept of the tea. This, it speaks like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for your higher order learners,
Yes.
yeah,
You give them more of the grittier, wordier, multisyllabic text.
Yes.
But this is written in text messages.
yeah. Okay.
You're supposed to be like...
Does it need to be done with projection?
No, not necessarily. And I think there is, like, they have parts where it's like IRL. So it is a lot of, like, the text languaging.
Okay.
This was a game changer.
I feel like they always have
Like text. Yeah.
and you're like,
It's spicy. I'm not saying it's not spicy, but even just, like, the quickness, they just have to get them to subtitle text a little bit and engage. This was, like, right up the alley.
Unfollow, like.
You know what I mean?
yeah. And I can see this being like a oral
Right.
Yes.
question.
Yes.
For someone on the other side of things.
Oh yeah, thank you.
When picking like a minute cut for like a college audition,
Yes.
what are sort of the like rules, politics of like cutting stuff or like
I would be going for fiscal knowledge of the moment. The moment memorability. And then I would also be going for like now it feels like the beginning, middle, and end. Don't worry about it. Like you splice it together.
but that's okay. Okay. And I'm talking both. Let's say there's a monologue in a play that's 3 minutes long, but you make it, or it's really kind of dialogue and you take up other. That's okay.
Last phase of Judas Iscariot, I used Stephen Ali Gurgis. That's St. Jude. Ended up there's a couple of race monologues too. I've cut it down to like the third, 10
Okay.
because they also write in the day, so you feel the rhythm.
Right.
You just want to make sure
To do like the first beat of a monologue is weird.
right.
Okay.
So you just want to make it feel as interactive as
Okay. That's what I do in class.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
But you could do, but performing for high school is different when the goal isn't to be theater, right?
Yeah.
The goal is to be like
A culturally literate person. Yeah.
so it's good.
Yeah, we did our first showcase. You did a scene shocase based on this exercise.
Yeah, I
by the
love
way.
the idea of doing this for
They
kids.
got-
I definitely incorporate.
And they chose Neil LaBute. They chose that was really popular, Blacktop Sky. That you should go down there.
With a little treat. Yeah. So this is also good. It's not funny. It's about women just getting out of prison, but it's like it hits home. And now I'm gonna look for the thing. Boom. No. You drew it. Yes. Perfect. There we go. Well, yeah. Oh my God. I wanna do that so bad. This is one thing. This was majority female. It is like is it a musical? No, it's a play, and it's like an open door kind of play. People are in and out, but it's about being in the office, but from a female perspective. I thought it was actually pretty solid. There were a lot of really good performances as an ensemble. I think it would be fun, actually. It's political without being like overt. It's clever. I just found it to be really insightful. I don't find it to be funny, but people find it funny. I'm still waiting to laugh. But Meet Vera Stark is a comedy. And I do think there is some merit in it, not for nothing. And then I said, build a scene around this, not just because of like just you wrote it, but just how there's something about the starlet. She's a starlet from like 1940.
Yeah, this is on my list, and I have not. I gotta.
The play is somewhere on those tables.
Okay.
And it does deal with period stylization. There is something about the deliverance of it. It has something to do with like structure, shape, temper, if we're going into like sort of viewpoints land. So that would be my suggestions for female comedy. So I think anything from Suffs, like take the music out, just anything from Suffs is pretty good. And if you're getting the scenes in between, like going to the middle of Act 1 and then right at the top of Act 2, there's scenes in there that are really solid.
Is that in Bobani timing? 6 p.m. Hey, I want to have naked that is wet. I'm sure it's like.
This is good. When we first fell apart, I filled with fear that life without thy love could not be a lifetime. But though my long reflections upon my tears, I filled myself with courage in its stead. Yet thou returnest, and for my love implore, with weary sadness hung upon thy rastus. Oh, how I would have bolted tight my door, if I had known thou you returning now. But without bolts, I beckon thee to leave. Thou hast no welcome place, and thus must go. Thou'st fled, and then expected me to grieve, and crumble like the walls of Jericho. Yet I shall live, and boldly rise above, so as long as I know how to give my love.
I thought that was killer.
It's I Will Survive by Yeah, so when we first apart, I feel a fear that love is up. This is so
Also, done in a way.
Or can they double as like a fourth?
Yeah.
Like, is there enough time to like running into it?
Yeah.
the one.
And then like the fourth students and answers of the options or whatever it is.
So what it confides in your advice is I keep being said.
Our guests, but there is like a 5-minute activity.
White.
And they can come in and get
Where they
Each night I close my eyes to sleep, but in my dreams I'll see once more their face. Oh, you know what would be really fun is to show them how to
Guess
guess.
the song. That's what I was.
I'm doing a thing about you. Literally. Literally. So it's going to be like a school-wide experience with what SpongeBob is going to be.
Also, whoever's making these programs is doing a really good
He goes into this idea of melodrama.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there was this crazy thematic about melodrama that was birthing out of it. Keep in mind, Jeremy did Buffalo in slave play here. He himself and had a stint at the Almeida. And this was one of the things that they did. He was examining what it would be to be like a young boy, like in love with an older white man.
I just heard, I listened to a podcast. What's that American?
No.
Okay, because I saw it. I was looking over stuff. Yeah. It's telling it fine.
It was. And so by the time we got to the end, the lighting started getting more stark, the music started to become more stark, and he's an artist, the main character. And these puppets that were like 9 feet lost.
Okay.
He's like sort of personification of his own self-image becomes like these under the play. And it was just about the grotesqueness he feels inside, or how much he's selling himself in order to be closer to classes. Really okay, dude.
I wish I could see it.
It was so okay. Another one, non-binary.
Oh, I tell me.
But what they did was they made this crazy skateboard ramp.
Okay.
So you have like these like non-binary, like female people running down the lanes and like charging with people, and these men coming out.
Like, I want to go over here.
No feminist days, they say was amazing.
Well, now we're gonna sail our own ship. We're done with them playing about romance with Shake Shack. I'm done. Like, it was hilarious. And then I got some.
I'll show them to you. They have a maracas down, really beautiful, and I didn't expect it not to come up the way.
There's 2 years I want to be a little bit of towards the end of the year, especially. My issue is, this was before coming, so we need like 7th grade. And one entire academy is either bilingual or dual language. And majority of the students that come to drama are mostly Spanish speaking, so I want to find ways to do that and help that kind of get more comfortable with speaking English and speaking old language.
Things like I expected that the way they do it because as they have so with the translation underneath, seeming and have them say it like a conversation, like a repetition activity.
Yeah. But some of them get the want to think English, don't even try. And these others are trying to get that, which is why for this spring showcase, the 6th graders who are mostly Spanish are doing Naima, and that's the way she got them to even do something. But I want to make the kind of lady get them to speak more and try the language more.
I would do it as a top video.
Okay.
That was an offering I had. Maybe a top video for me.
Okay.
And show them rap battles.
And
There's a great guy on TikTok. He does rapper Shakespeare. I think he did that. Oh, show that. They love it.
Yes.
And they get it wrong.
Yeah.
Great.
on versus they drum is or like someone's like has to skateboard there. So I'm like this. What I'm on board as
Well, do you think about it? We have access to YouTube and stuff, and people have been making their own ramps and stuff like in their backyards. It's plywood. It's just like a couple of saws of plywood. If you want to, probably do it.
If you got that going and had like just a little bit of race, you could do it in a booth this way. It's not impossible.
Also, I bet they have like, you want to play levels and you don't have the budget, like in kids' play set, you know how they have those ramps set that way. You could work that. That's pretty good.
Themselves, does they just to cut? Like this was a kid's vodka to me. I can still want this, but so what I also noticed that even if you keep swinging, so it's those do it working now.
Makes sense. Still in it's about baby, you know. I wonder what
Yeah. But
You're good.
Well, if you need to pink crew, like, what do I do? Reach out to teachers and things.
We just like small fields on If I were doing this in middle school or elementary school, right, I might take kernels of the text, but make the stage like it's done in rope. That's cool. So if I'm taking the rope and I'm trying to get into the physicality, I would do like some fight choreos.
Yeah,
I
love fun choreos.
Have them in skirts.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Have them in guards to see what does it mean to like actually do it in a structure. What does it mean to be in a societal structure? Yeah, there's something about that because kids are learning how to fight.
They sure are.
They're learning how to argue. But this actually goes into like, what does it mean to do it fair and fistfully?
That would be receiving. Yeah, my kids love to square up, so it's like that's tough because I love fight Furyo too. And I'm like, can we handle this?
Yes, you can. You can do fight choreo without them even touching each other.
I know, it's like
But will they? I know.
Yes, they will.
they will.
But then,
Like, you have like 3 units just in this.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, I wouldn't. What is this? Yeah.
It's Victorian boxing for ladies.
We love
women. So these are like the adult fairy tales that make you. But when I tell you the scene work that comes out of it, and you can make it in gravitas.
I need to come back to that. I have it. The title is like the idea of like we're the fairy tales to the giants. But definitely more like that's why I haven't touched it because it's more complex. So it's like
doable with the kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard. There's person.
Oh, they can handle that. Yeah.
But it is like the winged man. That's what they used to get at the grad school. And it's about this woman gets impregnated by an angel, and the girlfriend. Girl, you didn't do that. Who did it to you? Who did it to me? Was it Jose? Do I need to kill him? Like, wow. This is Jose Rivera in the
Yeah.
80s.
Okay.
He was on fire. Like, this is. Oh my gosh. Not tigers in the park, but flowers. What? A brother and sister. Girl gets a pimple. Oh my god, I'm getting a pimple on my face. What am I gonna do? All of a sudden, it starts sprouting. And then she turns into a garden. He's like, what am I gonna do about it? And it's so beautiful. You can like, if you want to do a real fun imagination station, like, make it. It's.
Okay, thank you. I have this like collecting dust.
No! Why?
What I want to do is like looking to my bookshelf and be like, what?
I know the pile is so.
I'm sorry. This kind of stuff makes me so like.
I'm big on like
That
like imaginative, like it feels like fantasy, but it's actually real life.
Yes, yes.
fantasy but real life.
Do you know this one?
Yeah, so listen, it's good. So I need to see this. They did a version of this, and you know Carol Churchill is meant to be like, they did it like slice of life. What? And so whenever I think about it, it makes me want to get teary-eyed because it was like a father and son, and the son coming to grips with these. And I went, oh my God, I know! And so the one actor, thinking about like what Sinners just did, and just thinking about the idea of being cloned, right? This guy, like, he played so many nuances and being the different versions, the A, the B, the C. I was like, and then, okay, this gets a little crazy, kookamunga hunga wugga hunga. Oh, that's the first thing it does. Yeah. This is really about someone's bipolar. It goes through their bipolar experience. So you're seeing Vera in Act 1, and it's a full Act 1, and then
in Act 1 and Depression Act 2.
And then you see episodic. She's in a hospital bed, Act 2. So there's more scenes, Act 2. And the people that start playing, like, in her imagination, or how it starts to go into the mania, come back as rehearsals. Like, died or kidding. You're like,
Oh, wow, that's love.
this, again, something, imagination station. Okay. I don't know. Sure, okay. Okay. I
Love Much Ado.
Let me tell you this. 2023 about Much Ado About Nothing was like, it was every, I think I saw it 5 times. Wow. 5 dispersions of what you do. But this one, what I took technically was this Afro like futurism, this whole like shape of Afro like the futuristic bits of it, the futuristic bits of it, the like these like engorged flowers and like the streams that they would be walking against and how they were looking for us.
We gotta wrap up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So sorry to do this because it has been lovely, but we are actually over time. So please do take a cookie. This will be here all day. So if you want to come back and visit, it's here for you. That is the plan. Thank you for spending a morning with us. We loved it. And we hope you had a really good time. Thank you for everything you did this year and for all the administrators. You didn't say that to me. Thank you.